We'll just start with this. I mean, good records are good records, right? Good videos are good videos, but what makes an artist ultimately is how they handle their transitions. Because I think anybody can exist in a time, but this album for you is like your transition album, isn't it?
Right. Oh, I would definitely say that, yeah. Really, it's just, I mean, from like the first two albums, that was where I was at when I did those two, you know, musically and everything, but it's just, I had so much time in between those two albums and this one to grow as a person and to, like, just, you know, when you grow as a person, you grow as an artist too, and to make that change for myself. So.
And for those first two records, I mean, you heard you say earlier it was about control, right? And then you're happy to be here. But at a certain point, you're not just happy to be here, right?
Right. You feel like you need to say something and express yourself in a certain way. Yeah. And
you put this together on this album here. Did you face any resistance when you stood up and went, "This is me now"?
You know what? It just kind of, there wasn't any resistance. I don't think so. I just went into the studio and I just vibed it out and just did what I felt, you know? And I think if you do that and it just comes from your heart, you can never lose.
Because control is in control, and I guess if your situation is what, you know, keeps you that person, right? As opposed to having to deal with the machine, because the machine can set you up. And I look at this business and I look at people who start, especially as young as you did. The system is designed for you not to survive. You know? It's really hard on somebody. You know, how do you keep that, or do you keep that, you know, that ability to stay, or do you go home at night and crawl in the fetal position and just break down? You know, how do you keep it together? I don't know.
You know, honestly, the way I look at what I do, I look at it as my career, not my life. If you understand what I'm saying. I mean, I look at my family, my sister, my boyfriend, and God. That's my life. So I just I don't take myself so seriously like a lot of people do in this business, you know? Just do it and just have fun with it, you know?
Did you have to learn that? Did you have to learn and sit back and look at yourself and say, you know, maybe I'm going on?
No, I learned it by watching other people.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because I look at people like huge artists who their lives are just falling apart, you know, today, every day. It's really bizarre. And so you watch an artist develop and you think, are your people going to keep you, you know, on the right track?
I mean, if this is what I'm going to do, then I have to make it as normal as possible. And I think that some people, and I think my background and my family has helped me a lot in knowing what normal is. I mean, what's normal for me may not be normal for you, but I know what works for me. And some people don't. Some people overdo things because they've been doing it ever since they were 2 because that's the way they were brought up. And that will tend to break you down, you know? And that's the way I look at it. You know, though? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure. And okay, so to get to this point now, we hear a lot girl, woman. That's what we hear a lot about, right? And so the transition as an artist is one thing, but the transition as a human being, you know, is more important.
Yeah.
You know, you carry that on by keeping things normal, but when you make that transition, do you get the feeling that you're outgrowing the art's growth process?
I'm confused with what you're saying.
You know, it's like, you know, being a human being who grows at a certain, you know, America woke up over the last 2 months, and art doesn't tend to grow as quickly as people do. You know, so as a musician, if you found you wanting to change in a way to match you as a person, as opposed to what you've been doing.
No, I have, like, it stays with me. Like, my art, and it's not a separate thing, it's me. It really is me and who I am. And, like, when I change as a person, you change as an artist, too. It's not something that is ahead of you or behind you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay.
Because the image and the sexuality thing as a human being, you welcome it, right? You like it. I think you present it in a different way than it's perceived. And I want to know, but what we see, is that you who you are, or is there the Britney entertainer and then the Britney person?
I think that being an entertainer, it's definitely who I am, but I think being an entertainer, period, is, it's expressing yourself, but at the same time, it's, if you're singing about a rock song, for instance, for example, I sing a song called Lonely in my show where I'm just like this rocker chick, and I go all out. That's not me. That's me being a performer and an entertainer. It's like being an actress. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, and the girl that you see in the magazines and the videos, right, and the images, yeah, have you ever had to reach a point where you say to somebody, you know what, that's too much. That I won't do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, I wasn't, the scene in the video, the very end scene in the video on Slave, where the guy looks at my face, I didn't know he was going to do that.
Did he know?
Probably so. So he didn't, I was like, oh, okay, cut, because we were only going to do it one time. The dancers had all their choreography mapped out with what they were going to do, this breathing thing, but I didn't know I was going to be in a park with a choreographer. I was supposed to be living and doing my own thing, right? So then afterwards, I was like, okay, we're done. Let's go. Okay. So we left, and the director said, Francis, he was like, well, look, what we'll do is we'll use it if it looks really good. If you don't like it, we won't use it. So we had 2 cuts of it. And I don't want to use it. And then finally I saw it, and I was like, you know what? This video is probably one of the most sensual videos I've ever done. And I thought it was a reflection of the video, and I thought the build-up for it was tastefully done, and I liked it.
What made you uncomfortable with it in the first place?
Like, I just couldn't see. I don't know. It was just a little awkward. But, like, you know, just having someone lick your face. Okay,
Yeah.
hi.
Nice to meet you, Marty.
You know? So, yeah. So it was a little awkward at first. But then, you know, after, you know, I saw it, and it was like a mini movie, you know? And after I saw it, I was like, that's cool. I liked it.
We said sensuality, sexuality. We live in a world where a lot of people, especially girls, that's where the self-worth is dictated, you know, based on sexuality. You know, girls read magazines, girls see videos, watch movies, they see this, and they think
Well, that's
that's
some
how
girls' opinions, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
I think a lot is
I don't
made
think-
that young girls feel that way. You don't think that's the case?
Well, I think a lot of girls feel that way, but I don't think everyone feels that way. I think that the most beautiful thing that you can do is just be yourself, and to, you know, just be yourself and be honest and open, and, you know, and try not to be something that you're not. Like when you're talking, you know, like a fake people, I can't stand that. You know, just be yourself, and that's the most attractive thing you can do. Just being really comfortable with yourself and cool and like, you know, like I think that is so sexy.
And do you think that like record companies and media companies look at it that way, or do they look at it like ass sells? You know, do you think that they look at?
Well, I think that when, you know, a lot of times people, I saw on The View one time, these women were talking about how these beautiful girls were in these videos and they were doing really, really well. And it's like, I think they shouldn't, they were saying that's so, just because she's pretty, that's it. And I think that's so horrible, you know, then that makes the girls who are pretty in this world to feel like they have to prove themselves, you know. And I think that's sad. I think you should be happy for them. I think it's cool that if you're talented and then on top of it, you're somewhat attractive to look at. I think that's a beautiful thing, and they should be happy for you, you know?
Yeah. Do you think that, and working at Much, I think we're as guilty of it as anybody. We play videos and you look at it and you go, wow, that's so not the storyline. That's a girl shaking on a motorcycle. You know, and then I sit and think, okay, what does a 15-year-old girl think about this? You know, when you watch them when you were young, when you watch them now, and it's not about the girl's talent, because they're not the artist.
Right. I think it's the artist's idea, the concept of the video. If he felt like going there, then, you know, let him do his thing. You know, I don't sit there and judge it because I don't like being judged. Mm-hmm. You know, but if that's what he felt like doing it, you take it how the person should sit there and have their own mind and take it how they want to.
Do you have I guess a greater concern for the social setup when you make your videos? Do you say, you know what, I don't want to be represented in this particular manner? Do you look at you in that respect?
Really, when I record a song or something, and we come up with, you know, it's time to do a video, most of the time I come up with the concepts for the video, and they'll get treatments and they'll come in, and, you know, it just works like that.
And people have, and you said before you've had to stop people from pushing you too far. Has it ever been an issue, as opposed to more like a tangible, like a lick? I can see why.
The only time that I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to, was for the Slave video. That's the only time. But other than that, I'm the one that they're like, take that off. So we need to put you in something a little bit more appropriate. Not that I'm like, you know, like scandalous or anything. No, but sometimes they try to, you know, dress me in a proper way.
But that balance is working for you. I mean, there's that balance of, you know, nice, you know, whatever. Then there's the sensual, but then there's this other thing that, you know, some people look at and go, okay, Britney's walking that line. You're walking that line of being, you know, not scandalous, but kind of scandalous. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's working for you. Mm-hmm. Is it intentional?
No, it's not something that I like. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna walk this line, and I'm gonna be like, you just, you know, you just wear what you want to wear, and you just do what you want to do, you know.
I look at music, and it's weird how it's about a song, but ultimately these days it's not. There's so much more that goes into it. Yeah. You ever just want to be a person who just, I like to do a song?
Oh yeah, and I do. I have like songs like that in my show that like I'm not a girl. I just sit there and I just sing to the audience and I just put my heart out there. And then there's songs where I come alive and I become a performer and I do my thing, you know.
And being on stage, you get this environment that most people don't ever get, which is thousands of people staring at them. Do you get a lot of time to be alone?
Alone? Yeah, I have on this right now because I'm promoting an album. Of course, you know, it's a little crazy, but once this tour starts to get into motion, I have like the weekends off. And then I'll have Christmas off, and then for the next tour I have like 3 and 4 days off every weekend.
How about alone time inside your head? Like, do you just get to go off, and what do you think about?
What do I think about? Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know.
You do too.
There's no telling. I'll just, you know, honestly, like when I get free time, I just like doing everything. It's like watching TV. You know, I love calling my mom, talking to my mom on the phone. You know, just doing silly stuff.
Is it hard for her? Because, I mean, you're her baby, and you can be 50 and you'll be her baby. But you're public property for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, her and my little sister, they're coming out on the road with me this tour for like 3 and 4 weeks. My sister, she's going to be homeschooled, so she's going to come out with me, and just so I can spend that time with them. You know, I'm such a family person. Like, I need to see my mom. No, I do. Like, I crave that. You know, so.
Is it the kind of thing where when things don't go the way you want them to do, your mom is the only person who can provide
comfort?
comfort?
You know, you have that person who's just like, oh, mama. Yeah, totally. My boyfriend's being mean. You gotta call him.
Yeah,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
The rumor right now. I mean, you live in such a neat place right now because you're making the transition. The world has changed. You know, especially over the last couple of months. You know, your boyfriend's doing his thing. It's not like the kind of relationship where you can go to the store. You know, let's go get a drink.
Believe it or not, though, we mainly stay in LA a lot, and people there are too cool to walk up to you anyways. It works out, seriously. And when, I mean, like if I go to the mall at 3 o'clock, right, when kids get out of school, of course, you know, but if I go, you know, if we put a hat on, some sweats, and we can go, you know.
Okay, I'll wrap on this one here. We look at, everybody holds Madonna up as this icon of how to do it, right? Madonna was really good at being in control of what she did and understanding the business. So what I wonder for you is, what could you learn from these artists? Because you can learn what not to do, certainly.
Yeah.
But what have you learned about what to do?
The thing I've learned to do is just to keep, for me, to keep getting better at what you do and growing and never become like at a stagnant place. You know what I mean? There's always more to learn and more to do and more to, you know, I mean, who knows, 5 years from now, I may be a director. You know, I mean, I want to learn everything about the business, you know, and that's what I love about Madonna. She's done every little thing, and she's like, you know, it's made her such, you know, such a genius.
Has your career ever stepped on your life? Like you said, you know, this is your career, not your life. But I guess it's hard to balance the two sometimes.
That's the thing. That's a juggle that you have to work out yourself, is to find a balance between those two, definitely.
Are you good at that, or do you have moments where it's not so good?
I think I'm good. I just read my horoscope yesterday, and it said I was good at that, so.
Well, like, if you trust in your horoscope, you're in trouble. Thank you very much.
Thank you.